Welcome back to the Immigration Answers Show. It's your boy, Jim Hacking. Hope you all are doing well. Today is the first day of the Festival of Nations here in St. Louis. We are supporting our good friends at the International Institute. We are a sponsor of the event. If you're in St. Louis and want to come down and see us, we're over in the sponsorship row. We'll be there today and tomorrow. Amani and I will be there with our son, Ibrahim, tomorrow. This is episode number 240 of the Immigration Answer Show. Let me go ahead and give out the link to the show. If you want to get in the waiting room and ask me a question, I'd love to talk to you. I will be here for a full hour. Then I'm going for my walk, and then I'm going to the Cardinals game. Hope everyone is having a good weekend. And, you know, it's a great day here in St. Louis. It's beautiful out. We're really excited about the Festival of Nations. For those of you who don't know, basically there's food and stuff to buy from every country in the world. I was down there yesterday with my good friend Umra helping set up, and it's going to be a blast of a weekend. So we're really excited about that. And let me turn off that banner. And we are going to go ahead and get started. I noticed this gentleman dancing during the opening music. I always like to take the dancers first. So, Mike, how are you?
Hey, Jim, I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm great. What can I help you with?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Great. So let me give you a little bit of background. So my girlfriend is coming to the U.S. For 10 days, entered through Fort Lauderdale Airport. She's going to be using the ESTA visa waiver program, as she's a citizen of both an EU country that offers the ESTA program, as well as South American country. We've heard online and through friends that if you mention a significant other in the U.S., it'll make the entry much harder because CBP fears an overstay. She's taken about 3 trips to the U.S. in the past 14 months, all using her ESTA. The first 2 times, she stated she was only coming for around a week, and she stayed for about a week those 2 times, and they let her in with no problems. The last time, she was questioned heavily for about 30 minutes after about 3 hours of waiting to even be questioned in the airport about her intentions. And when she said she was coming for about 2.5 months, that's what drew the red flag, and she stayed for about 85 days, so pretty much right at the limit of her ESTA. We have plans of visiting different cities and beach days when she's here for the 10 days, but we have no presentable documentation such as concert tickets or hotel confirmations for events over those 10 days, outside of course, the return trip back in 10 days. We have that all booked. Is there a trick or a piece of advice that you can provide to make it easier for her to enter or lessen the chances of her being turned around when she comes?
Okay, so lots of good questions. My first question to you or lots of good information. That was a very nice summary of things. When was the last time she left the United States?
She left the United States about 2 months ago at the end of July. Excuse me, at the beginning of July.
They're not going to like this at all.
Okay.
4 trips in 14 months is crazy. So
okay.
I think it's 40, 60. They don't let her in at all.
Got it. Even though the first 2 trips were about a week long?
Yeah. She would have been better off coming for a full 6 months, waiting a year, or waiting 6 months, and then coming another 6 months. Every time you enter, it's another opportunity to meet with a customs official who gives you a hard time. That recent trip she had is going to be logged, and their first question is going to be, "Why are you coming back so soon? Who are you coming to see?"
Got it.
So I certainly don't have any tips on how to make it easier for her. I think my tip is we need to ask, what's the long-term play? Like, what's the long-term plan here? I don't really have a sense as to what. I mean,
yeah.
ESTA's not here for boyfriends and girlfriends to see each other 4 times in a year. That's not the purpose of ESTA.
Okay. So the first time that she actually came was a little bit over a year ago. Does that matter?
4 trips in 14 months is about what you're telling me, right?
This will be her 4th trip in 14 months. That's correct.
Okay. That's a whole lot.
Okay.
Yep.
And she wasn't, on her last time entering, she wasn't told anything like, this is your last time, you have to leave in 1 month. She's had friends that...
They don't do that.
Say that again? They don't do that.
Usually,
Okay.
They don't usually do that, and they certainly don't have to do that. It's not anything you can rely. I mean, that doesn't tell you anything like permanent or nothing you can take to the bank.
Got it. Okay, so nothing we can do to make it easier. Nothing we can say.
Well, first of all, you have to tell the truth. So if they ask her about a boyfriend,
Of course,
tell them. Because if you ever want to do a fiance case or a spouse case, you're getting to the point where this is going to rise to the level of something on a consular official's radar, right? So I think that you're sort of playing with fire, and you need to sort of figure out another plan because this ain't a great one.
Got it. Okay. Well, I do appreciate your advice. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Have a good day, buddy. All right. Let's say hi to Parwiz. What's up, Parwiz?
Good. How are you, James?
I'm great, buddy. What's up?
Well, I had my naturalization interview about a month ago, and so basically they went through the questions first, and nailed that on the spot. And then the first question she had was like, "Hey, did you ever had another last name?" I said, "No, I never had another last name." And anyways, so she kept bringing on like, "Oh, do you know about this date of birth?" On top of my head, I did not know it. And so she said, "Oh, we have on our record."
On the top of your head, you didn't know your date of birth?
No, I'm coming from Afghanistan, and over there, nobody really. No, I knew my date of birth, the one I have always used, and the one that's actual date of birth. But she was, I'll come into that. So why did she bring up that date of birth issue? Anyways, I said, no, that's the only date of birth I have, and that's the only last name I have. And then she went on and said that, "Oh, we have on our record that you have used another date of birth, another last name somewhere." I said, "No, that's the only last name I have." So anyways, the interview was over, and then at the end she told me that basically that, "Oh, everything is good to go, but the name situation is not clear. We're gonna have to wait and see, and it's gonna take a long time and see what will be the outcome of this name situation, because you're not clear on that one." And well, they gave me a letter that says the decision cannot be made at the moment. Well, after that, I've never seen any updates on.
Oh, Parwiz, did we lose you for a minute? All right. That's okay. Oh, there he goes again. Let's just give him a second. Parwiz, are you with us? All right. Looks like Parwiz is having phone problems. We'll put him back in the waiting room. Let's say hi to John. Hi, John.
Yeah, hello, Jim. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing so good. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I have a little question to ask. Since I don't have credit record in the US, it's so difficult to add me on my wife's mortgage agreement. So, what do you advise us to do?
Where do you live? In a house or an apartment or what?
In a house.
And she owns it?
And she owns the house.
Yeah, that's not unusual that if you move into a house that she owns, that you can't be added to the mortgage. That they usually won't add you to the mortgage, so that doesn't surprise me.
Okay, so because we're trying to figure out how.
Well, do you get mail? Do you get mail at that address? Do you use that address?
Yes, for everything.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, because that's what we're wondering about.
No, they won't be upset about that or surprised by that.
And how would they know that? I mean, that we stay in a house.
Well, you have to find another way to prove it. Are there people that know you? I mean, if you get mail at that address, if you have neighbors that know you, you can get affidavits from them.
Okay. So that is so weird. That's wondering that. And also
that's just one piece of evidence you don't have. It's not a big deal.
Okay. So and also
good luck, John. Good luck, buddy. All right, we'll see you later. All right, let's say hi to Matul. Hi, Matul. We're moving fast today. You're on mute. There you go.
Thank you.
How you doing?
I'm good. I need a different question about everyone. I have a 2 years daughter, and I'm a F1 OPT. Like, I'm a student and I have a 2 years old daughter. So can I apply other legal status?
You mean your 2-year-old daughter is a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Yeah, so in 19 years, she can apply for a green card for you. Right now, she can't do anything for you.
Oh, okay. And one more question. Does like the mortal honor, he gave me a sponsorship, does that work like in if he wants like to like sponsor me to get a work permit and everything? So
Well, you're on an F1?
F1 OPT.
OPT, okay. And so, and what's the position that you're doing? What job are you doing?
He told me just like the front desk and like the whole like a manager.
What was your degree in?
My like India I do my bachelor and master of social work, and here I do my public health degree, bachelor of science in public health.
Yeah, so I'm not going to say this particularly about your case, but generally you're supposed to do OPT in your field of study. Working at a hotel is not the right kind of OPT.
Okay.
So you need to find a job within your area of expertise. Does your school know where you're working?
No, like my OPT is expired on September, and I'm starting my master of public health back to school again.
Okay.
But the question is, someone like the businessmen want to hire me. So like, is that work for my?
Yeah, but it has to be in your field of study, and it has to be a specialty occupation. You're probably not going to be able to get a work visa to work at the front desk of a hotel if you're not in the hospitality industry, and if it's even considered a specialty occupation. I don't think that it is. So I think that would be hard.
Oh, okay. So, okay.
Thanks, Patul. Bye-bye. Yep. All right. Waihori is always broad, or always right on. John always comes in and holds a spot to someone who has a good question. He calls in a lot of Immigration Answer Show. Don't pull John again, Jim. I didn't realize that was him. You're right about that, Waihori. He's on here all the time. And remember, this show is not a substitute to hiring a lawyer. I don't just sit around and answer each question along each stage of the process. I'm here to help as many people as I can and not help one person through. So I agree wholeheartedly with my friend Waihori. All right, Parwiz, I think you're back. Hi, Parwiz.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. My kids tried to call me. I just told them not to.
Oh, yeah. Well, I hope everything's okay. What were we talking about? The naturalization. It's been 30 days. Yeah. So, so when they start asking me questions about other names, I mean, I know Nouri is probably a popular name in Afghanistan. Is Parvez a popular name? I think it is too, right?
It is. But the root of that is I discovered it later why she was insistent on that. So when I was in Afghanistan, anybody who lives in Afghanistan has about 6-7 different Facebooks. Right. It's natural for everybody out there. You could literally just make several accounts. Maybe that's been one of those accounts that I made up there and they probably checked it. But I made another account here in the US, like it's been about a year and a half ago. That wasn't for me. Originally, I made it. I was going to give it to my father because he doesn't have a way to communicate with me. But eventually, he did not want to get a smartphone because he's old and he doesn't want to deal with all this stuff. And I happened to use it a couple of times just to communicate with my father. And the reason behind that was, back home in Afghanistan, a lot of people tend to, like, the economic situation is really bad. Everybody tend to ask me call me about money and stuff. I can only help out so much. But I tend to talk to them through that Facebook, and the date of birth she was referring to is in that Facebook. So when I logged into that Facebook, because I'm like, what is she talking about? Why is she asking me about different date of birth, different last name? Anyways, like, so that's the problem. And then I tried to call him back and to try to, let him know that this was the problem. I did not remember that Facebook, but no one really answered my call. And then I got an email from them, said that you have to wait till we gave you an answer. So I don't know if it's going to be a big deal or what do I do in this process?
Well, I mean, generally they give people from Afghanistan a hard time for naturalization and for green cards because they feel like they can't do an adequate background check, right? So then when there's questions about dates of birth and full names, those are all the kinds of things that slow them down. So I suspect, they only get 120 days after your interview to decide your case. And you're at 30 days now. So I suspect that you're going to go beyond the 120 days. And if you do, then you should probably sue them to get them to decide it. Otherwise, they could sit on it for a year.
Oh, okay. So I do have to. Well, basically, after 120 days, do I just do an info pass, or I have to hire somebody, or how do I do that?
Yeah, we could sue them for you, but yeah, it would be after the 120 days. You can always do an info pass whenever you want, but that's not going to do anything. The only thing that'll do it is to sue them.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for that. And then I wasn't sure because, I don't know if it'll be smart for me to just tell them what the problem was, or I'd be just, hey, it's not mine and it's somebody else's. I made it for my father, but the problem is I did use that Facebook for a couple of times. So that's the one thing. I'm pretty sure that's the only thing she's referring to us. And right now my case status shows that interview was scheduled and it's not any update on it. That's the only thing it got me worried about. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I wouldn't worry about that so much. That thing's always wrong. But as far as I don't know that I would agree that using a Facebook account under a fictitious name counts as using another name. They might say that it is. I don't think that it is, but
she did make me sign a statement, though. She did, and on the statement that was mentioned in there that I don't know this date of birth. And the testimony, I signed it, and there was a bunch of stuff. Well, I had my daughter's name wrong on it. She fixed that one, and there was a couple other stuff. One of the jobs that I was
so that sounds like a problem then. That sounds like you signed a piece of paper that says you've never said you had a different date of birth, but you have a Facebook account with a different date of birth, and the fact that they know the date that you use, that's troublesome.
Yeah, that's what worries me. I'm like, what do I do now? Because I didn't remember, honestly. If I did, I would just tell them. Because I work for the Army. I know I've been through so many interrogations like that before. I should know better.
I think usually I'm not a big fan of sending them a letter, but I think I would send them a letter and explain that you had this other Facebook account that you use just because it's in your community's tradition to have multiple Facebook accounts, and that you had used this different date of birth, and it wasn't until you got home after the interview and realized what it was. I think that might be a letter worth sending.
How do I do that? I have no way to do that. Is it a way for us to do that, even?
Yeah. You send a letter to the local field office. Did you write down the name of the officer who interviewed you?
Yeah, I have the paper. She only has the first name. That's Nicholas or something, whatever.
Yeah, it's probably her last name. Yeah, so just say, "Dear Officer Nicholas," put your case number, put your interview notice, attach it, and say, "I was in your office on July 12th, 2022. You were asking me about any other names or dates of birth. When I got home, I remembered that I used this one on Facebook just because I wanted to have another Facebook account," and just leave it at that and send it to her and say sorry for any confusion. That way, at least you documented it.
And then, so at this point, so what address do I use? The USCIS address? And then
the address on the interview notice. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Alrighty. Well, thank you very much. I might just do that. Appreciate it.
Okay, I would. Bye, Parwez.
Okay.
See you, buddy.
Definitely. Okay, bye. Thank you very much.
Have a good weekend. See you, man.
Yeah.
All right. Let's say hi to Perry. What's up, Perry?
Jim, what's up, man?
How you doing, my man?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. What's the latest?
I won't take too much of your time. I just have a quick question. So after the last time we spoke, I ended up getting an FE, a financial evidence, on my NVC page. They requested that I'll give you a little bit of backstory. What happened was, at the time when I submitted the documents onto NVC, I didn't have my 2021 transcript. However, I did have my, I think it was called the 1040, because I did it from abroad. So at the time, I tried to request on this ID me. I did it from abroad. It didn't work. I requested the document via mail. It never came. So at the time, because I wanted to try to submit the documents in the right amount of time, I submitted those documents. However, 2 months later, I look on the page, all of the documents are accepted, even the 1040. However, they send me a notice saying that I needed to submit a transcript, which I did already. So
this is all about your financial documents.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So I guess where I'm confused at 2 points. One being, why would they accept the document that they said didn't suffice or didn't fulfill the requirement? And then
what do you mean accept it? When you say they accept it, what do you mean?
So on the NVC, when it has the civil documents and all of the financial documents, it has a status bar next to it that says whether it's been accepted or rejected or anything. And all of my documents that I've submitted thus far, with the exception of the updated transcript, are marked as accepted.
So you mean accepted as in the download was accepted, or that they've reviewed it and they've accepted it?
They've reviewed it. Yeah.
Okay.
They've reviewed it an initial time, which was, I'm assuming, last week, which is when I got the notice. So I'm a little confused as to how can a document that they deem unacceptable be marked as accepted on there, because it's the numbers are going to be the same though. It's just one is coming from my own personal records and the other one is being generated from the IRS.
Why do you think they're giving you such a hard time on the finances?
I don't know. I really don't know. I've submitted a contract that's basically 4 times the poverty line for my family size. I submitted 2 years worth. Prior to that, I submitted the 19 and 20s transcripts, actual transcripts from the IRS. It was only that single document. And in addition to that, I wrote a note next to the 1040 document that they deem unacceptable, explaining the situation. And still,
I mean, I don't think you can read too much into when the online portal says accepted. I know that that's something you want to hang your hat on, but it seems like it's something stuck. So I don't think the right question is why are they saying they accept it, but then they don't really accept it. I think the bigger question is what's wrong with the case. And I mean, how do I get to that? I think you just got to start bothering them until they tell you what the problem is.
Yeah, but at this point, I really don't even know how to reach out to anyone at the MVC.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
submitted an inquiry. I even tried to do an expedite. For some reason, the turnaround for that was a day, and it was rejected with no real reason as to why.
Well, just because they're rejecting all the expedite requests.
Right. So I guess my thing is like, well, am I going to have to wait an additional? Am I put at the back of the line, so to say? Is that some new submitted?
I wouldn't say back of the line. I just think nothing's happening on the case. You might try reaching out to a member of Congress. This is one of the things they might be able to help with. I mean, generally they don't, but I would try to keep bothering them, but I just don't know what else you can do except wait.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I'm just confused as to like what to do, because if in another 2 months they say this document is unacceptable, like you have to wait 2 months, 3 months for response on a document that should have been accepted initially. I don't know. I've been reading online as well that this is a ploy to kind of slow down the backlog. I don't know. It sounds kind of speculatory, but
yeah, sorry, bud.
Okay. Well, thanks for your time again. I appreciate it.
Man, I'll see you. All right, that was our old friend Perry trying to get her over here, and it's just not happening because NBC's so damn slow. There's a little discussion going back and forth. Steve is wondering how he could get on the show in the waiting room. The waiting room was almost full when I logged in, and the way, Steve, that people get on the waiting room beforehand is they send a text to our text line, and the way that you always get the update is you text the word show to 314-470-3300. I sent out the link about an hour before the show. So you can always, Steve, if you text that to that number, then you'll always get an update whenever we go live. We're going live again on Monday, although I don't know exactly what time. I guess that would be 1 o'clock on Monday. All right, let's say hi to Hassanor. Hi, Hassanor.
Hey, Jim. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, thanks. I had my wife had her interview on Monday. The visa actually interview went pretty well. She got the visa at the end of the interview.
That's great.
So
which embassy was it?
Oh, sure. The embassy was in Dhaka, Bangladesh.
And how long was she? How long did the whole thing last?
She was there for like an hour, but the actual interview didn't take it only took like 15 minutes. She just had to wait a lot because there was other people there.
Did you remember any big questions that they asked her, or any big topics that they talked about?
It was more so about it was a lot of basic things like my name, when did you get married with him, what does he do, where does he live in the States, and then that was pretty much it. And then they asked more about the marriage itself, and then how did the marriage occur, and they told her she told them it was an arranged marriage, and it wasn't too many questions. It was pretty straightforward.
That's great. So when is she coming?
September 27th. Ticket prices are just so expensive, but thankfully at the end of the month, we'll be able to bring her here.
Awesome. So what, you have a question for me?
Yeah. So regarding the USCIS fee, do I pay that before she comes here, or?
Yeah. You can go ahead and pay it now. Now that she has the visa, you can pay it.
Okay. She hasn't picked up her passport yet, so I have to wait for her to get her passport, and then I'll get her A number then. And then the other thing is her English is it's okay, and we have a relative going with her to the States, so a family friend. He's a U.S. citizen and he speaks English and both our home country language. So I was thinking is it possible for him to translate for her, because I don't know how much they'll grill her in terms of when she gets here. If that makes sense. like in terms of like why are you here and stuff like that.
Okay, so a couple of thoughts there. I vote no for that, but for a different reason than you're saying. I vote no for that because I don't want them getting weird about her. You said it's a man, right?
It's a man, yeah. He's like a family friend, like basically like my dad's friend, and like they're like he's like 65, so he's like very old.
Yeah, all right. Well, generally, I would want her to stand on her own 2 feet.
Okay.
And for those, this won't probably apply to you, but there's a show on Netflix right now called Newton's Cradle. It's an Egyptian show. I'm watching it with my wife in Arabic. You might check it out on Netflix because I'm going to show the first 15 minutes of the first episode. It's a non-immigrant visa, but it's this Egyptian lady trying to make it through customs, and it's very stressful. I mean, I think it's sort of overplayed because it's television, but you might have her watch it because it's very accurate as to what actually happens.
Right.
But I don't think she needs to worry. She doesn't need much English. If she has a green card visa stamp, an immigrant visa stamp, she's going to be fine. I think she. I mean, what I would say is just have him go in line behind her. Try not to jump in unless he needs to.
Okay, got it.
Yep. All right. Well, that's exciting. Let us know when she gets here. That's great, Hassanur. I'm happy for you, bud.
Thank you, sir. You have a great day.
All right, you too. All right. We always like to hear when people get the visa on the day of their interview. Always so much better than the other way, which is when you're just dragging butt and not able to get that visa for months and months. Amir is here. Let's hear what Amir has to say. I just rhymed.
How are you?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm good. So I just have a couple, it's like general questions. So I'm a Canadian citizen. I filed for the adjustment of status here in the States. I got married to a U.S. citizen.
Okay.
I applied on July 29th, so I submitted everything with the help of a lawyer. But I just had a couple quick questions. So how it worked was I applied July 29th. 7 days later, I got a biometrics appointment. And then it was scheduled for August 24th. And then like 3 days before the biometrics appointment, I got an RFE for Form 864. But I was just wondering, is that like, because I was reading online, sometimes people say like it's weird to get an RFE before biometrics. And does that mean
not these days. That so they used to just let first of all, they used to schedule biometrics first. And they also used to not look at the financial stuff until the back end, until you got closer to the interview. But if you think back that we had this mean old president named Donald Trump, they were always thinking up ways to make life harder for immigrants and how to discourage legal immigration to the United States. And one of the little tweaks that they did is they changed it so now they look at your financial stuff at the beginning, and if you don't have the goods, then they pause the work hard, they pause everything until you get that sorted out.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think I just forgot to include the W-2s. I don't know why my lawyer, because I have a lawyer, he should have like checked that. And I remember I sent it all to him, and he didn't notice that I was missing the W-2. But so I included it, and then I went to the biometrics a few days later, and then obviously it says the case is actively being reviewed. My question is, like, is there like any, like, because I'm a Canadian, I was born in Sudan. I don't know if you know what that is, but I was born in Sudan. Yeah. And I've lived and was like raised in Canada since I was 6. I'm 31 now. So I was living there for like 25 years. So I'm just wondering, is there like any difference in terms of like where the citizenship and birth is in terms of speed, or that's just a myth?
So yes, the answer to that is you will be treated as a Sudanese, not as a Canadian when it comes to USCIS.
Okay. And do you think like from so far, like the timeline that I got, does it seem like it's going fast, slow? Like, is it just right?
So what's your filing date? What's your receipt date?
So July 29th.
And you haven't responded to the RFE yet?
I did right away. Like I just submitted online. I just uploaded the I uploaded everything that was already uploaded plus the W-2 this time. Yeah.
So, I mean, July 29th, that's not even a month ago.
I know.
So you're just waiting.
Okay.
Yep. It's going to be a long wait, Amir. A long wait.
Yeah. All right. No problem. Thank you.
All right. Bye, buddy.
Bye.
All right. That was Amir. Usman's wondering, Jim, what's your opinion about Dallas versus the Orlando USCIS field offices? Well, this is an exciting question because Dallas is one of my favorite field offices. And for those of you who've been watching lately, you know I'm down on Florida. So I think the furthest south you are in Florida, the worse that they are. And as you move north, it gets a little bit better. But Orlando's a tough field office. I've been there a couple times. So not a big fan. All right. Next, we're going to go see what Al-Hamid has to say. Hi, Al-Hamid. You're still on mute, buddy.
Hey, Jim. How you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm all right. I have some few questions for you. All right. So my first question is, what if my spouse has been arrested like a couple of times and she has been given tickets, like traffic tickets? Would that affect my case? Like she's the petitioner for a marriage-based green card. I haven't filed anything yet, but I'm about to. So I'm just wondering if that's gonna be a problem.
So I think it is in that they do take into account the petitioner's criminal history to the extent that they ask themselves, boy, this person has some criminal background. Would they also be willing to commit the crime of marriage fraud? Right? Or, you know, they have several crimes and they might be hard up for money and not able to work because of their criminal background. So do we think that she married Al-Hamid in order to get paid off, right? To solve some of her finance problems. So yeah, I think it definitely goes. I mean, I don't know how deeply they go into the U.S. citizen's criminal background, but I think that if it's easily publicly available, then I think that they'll know about it, and then I think they'll factor that into whether or not they think it's a valid marriage.
Well, it's not like big crimes actually. It's not like she was arrested, but
I can barely hear you.
I said it's not like a big criminal case actually. Like she was like she actually went to jail, but like it was just for like a day.
Okay.
She had a little bit problem with a police officer, and the other one, she was very young when it happened. It's not like a very big something.
Okay.
It's just that she was arrested actually.
Yeah, so that should be okay.
Okay, great. What about like if she got kids? She got like 2 kids from.
Yeah. So again, that goes into did she get married so she had someone to take care of her realm? That's
she wasn't married when she had those kids.
No, did she marry you?
Yes, we're already married.
Right. I'm saying, did she marry you in order to get help with her kids, in order to make money? That's what we're worried about.
Not really.
I know that's what you say, but that's what they think. You're asking me what they think, right?
Uh-huh. Yes.
So that's what I think.
So you think they're gonna take it as a big thing?
I guess here's how I would frame it. Do I think that they treat cases differently when the U.S. citizen has a criminal history and has had 2 children out of wedlock? Do I think they treat those cases differently than if the person's never been arrested and hasn't had any children out of wedlock? Yes, I think they treat those cases differently. How much? It probably depends on the officer. It depends on what kind of mood they're in. I don't think there's a hard and fast rule, but yeah, I think they look down on people like that. Not that that's fair or good, but I think that they do.
All right. What about if she's like she's able to come up with like the arrest history, like why she was arrested on the interview, like if she can.
I've very rarely had them ask about the criminal record of the U.S. citizen. Hardly ever even comes up. So I think it's one of these things that sort of operates in the background that they don't really talk about, but it just makes them sort of like, you know, she's sort of volatile. She got arrested. She's got these 2 kids with other men. Maybe if we just sit on the case for a year, the whole thing will fall apart and we don't have to give him a green card. That's more what I'm talking about, as opposed to they're going to get in her face and say, you've got 2 crimes and you got arrested and you got 2 kids. I don't think that's what you need to worry about.
Okay. All right. My other question is, what if the mailing address, like our lawyer told us that like sometimes mails got like they get missing, like when they mail something to you, it might get lost. So he advised to have a PO box. But
no, that's bad advice. Why? I mean, first of all, he's the lawyer. He should get a copy of everything. And number two, you want to have the address of where you sleep at night. You don't have some made up PO box. That seems stupid to me.
So your advice would do that?
No, I wouldn't do that.
And my other question, my last one is, in terms of like for the I-864A, because she's not earning enough to sponsor me, and the household is a little bit large.
Yeah.
So, do you think like 3 years of financial documents would be enough? Like the tax returns for the sponsor, like the joint sponsor, the tax returns, and these W-2 forms and employment letter. Do you think that's enough?
Well, how much does she make?
Well, she makes less than 20 grand right now. She's not working. She's working, but she's not working like full time, just for a few hours.
So who's the co-sponsor?
My uncle.
All right, so you just gotta. So the great thing about owning your own law firm is you don't have to fill out the affidavit of support. So I would just say follow the instructions and do that. I can't tell you what needs to be included, but generally, yeah, it's their taxes and their proof of current employment and their W-2s.
All right. Thank you, Jim.
All right. Good luck. Yep. All right. Where'd my camera go? Here I am. That was El Hamid. Let's say hi to Bram. He's been waiting patiently. Hi, Bram.
Hey, Jim. How are you doing?
Great. How are you?
A little bit worried. So, yeah, we'll see. So 5 years ago, I met my U.S. fiance.
Mm-hmm.
A year later, we start dating. Then we live together for a year and a half. Then my work gives me the opportunity to work in Silicon Valley. So I'm like, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I want to do that. I moved here with an E2 visa. So the treaty E2. Now I got my visa and everything. I moved to the US 2 months ago. Now I'm with my fiance in Canada on a holiday. And my worry is when we go back, the CBP will deny because I have a fiance, and that might be immigrant intent, but my visa is for non-immigration.
So your fiance is a U.S. citizen?
Yeah.
And you said you just went to Canada like for a vacation?
Yeah.
How would they know that you're engaged?
We did say it when we entered Canada.
So they won't know that.
Okay, then they wouldn't know, I think.
I went, hello, what's your purpose of the United States? I have an E2 visa I'm working in Silicon Valley. I went to Canada for a brief vacation. She's going to go in a different line than you anyway. You're not going to go through customs together. So okay. I don't think it's something you need to worry about.
Okay, then I can sleep well at night.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks. That's all, Jim. Yeah, thanks so much.
Awesome. Thanks, Bram. See you, buddy.
See you.
Bram waited very patiently to ask me his question. I'm glad we were able to answer that. Remember, everybody, I'm taking the people who are on camera before I take anybody who's not on camera. So I'm just going to clean up the waiting room a little bit, kick out a few people, and then let's say hi to Mo. Hi, Mo.
Hey, Jim. How's it going?
You know, I was talking about Netflix. There's also a show on Netflix called Mo, which I'm going to start watching. It's about this Palestinian guy living in Texas. It looks really funny.
That's awesome. I think I was on your show about a couple months ago or something.
Okay.
I told you I want to interview. The officer was the nicest. He's like, I don't really have to ask you anything. You guys are approved, blah, blah, blah. But somebody with the same name as you are has criminal record in a third country. We just need to check that. And we'll get back to you. It's going to take about 2 to 3 months. So today it's officially been 2 months. Haven't heard anything. However, today I woke up in the morning, 6 in the morning to go to work. And on my email, I received an email that says, USCIS have taken an action on your case. I was super excited. I was like, okay. So I went to check my case on my phone, the case tracker app, no update. I brought my laptop, logged in, checked all my cases, everything. There's nothing changed at all. But I received the email that says USCIS have taken an action in your case. So I don't know, what does that mean? Does it usually take a minute? Like, is the email system faster than the update online, or is that a glitch, or what's happening?
No, I think somebody clicked a box and maybe unclicked it. I don't think you can read too much into it.
So that email really doesn't mean anything.
I mean, action could be they went to talk to their supervisor. Action could be that they moved it from one phase to another. I don't think it means I mean, what you want is the email that says, this is for a green card, right?
Correct, right.
Yeah,
I'm married to a U.S. citizen, correct.
Yeah, so you're wanting it to say the card is being produced. That's the email you want.
Oh, man, I was excited for a second. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, another super quick question. So the officer told me 2 to 3 months, and the guy was, again, really nice. He's like, 2 to 3 months for sure, you're going to receive your green card. And he started talking to me about citizenship. You're going to get into the same office. It's Tampa, Florida. He was like, blah, blah, blah. So it's been 2 months. There's 1 month left. I've watched your show before, and says if it's been pending after the interview for more than 3 months, we can do we can sue them.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, suing, because I'm scared of suing the U.S. government. It's a big deal. But he said, it's just to get their attention, for them to reply to our case. So you think after the 3 months, I should start thinking about suing them?
When did you originally file?
Originally filed December 14th, 2021.
Oh yeah, so you got a while to sue. I would wait at least until February or March. Hopefully you won't have to wait that long.
Okay, sounds good. All right, thanks, Jim.
Hi, Mo. Good luck. Let us know when you get it, okay?
Absolutely.
All right, see you, buddy. All right, that was our friend Mo. Let's say hi to James. What's up, James? Looks like James is locked. Let's say hi to Amadou. Hello, Amadou.
Hi, Mr. Jim. How you doing?
Good. How are you doing, Mr. Amadou?
Good. I got a friend who having a problem with his marriage, and they already filed the I-751, and he's been pending almost a year now, and his wife is being cheating on him.
Getting on him? What does that mean, getting on him?
No, cheating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
okay. So hold on. What was this? So this person has a pending green card application based on marriage, right?
Yes.
And it's been pending for a while now.
Yeah, almost a year.
And you keep disappearing, Amadou? Did they have an interview?
No, not yet.
And she the U.S. citizen is cheating on him.
Yes, the U.S. citizen.
So what's the question?
The question was, what would he do?
Well, it sounds like he needs to get divorced and then figure something else out immigration-wise. It doesn't seem like this is... I mean, if she's cheating on him, not only does that suck and she's cheating on him, but it also challenges the validity of the marriage, right?
Yeah. But, he just saw some text messages, but not physically, visually coaching.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, I mean... in the real world, he can either sit through it and see what happens and see, but if he's going to divorce her for cheating on him, might as well get it over with and get moving on that.
Okay.
Right. I wouldn't keep pushing ahead with a green card case based on a marriage where my spouse is cheating on me, just because it's not going to go well.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir.
Oh, just real quick. Amadou, did I mishear? This is a 751 case you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay. So, yeah, definitely. I would ditch her to the curb. I would get all my documents together, and I would file a new 751 on my own. I would demonstrate that it was a real marriage that just didn't work out, and like you said, he has the proof that she cheated on him, and then just go from there. I would probably involve a lawyer on that one.
Okay. All right. Thank you, boss.
Bye, Amadou. See you, buddy.
Bye.
And thank you to Alejandra for pointing out that I misheard. I thought it was a I-130. So that's great. All right. Let's say hi to Dr. Muhammad. Hello, Dr. Muhammad.
Hey, Jim. Thank you for taking me. How are you?
Good. What's up?
Good, good. Hey Jim, actually, it's a quick question. My mom, she got a green card through my brother because he was a citizenship in 2016.
Okay.
So she came here like 4 or 5 times before pandemic, before COVID.
Yeah.
And she was coming like every 6 months. Like you cannot stay more than 6 months. So before pandemic was started, she was not able to come, and my dad actually also expired because of the COVID in Pakistan. So my mom stayed there since like 2019 until now. She was not able to come.
So 3 years.
3 years.
Yep.
She still have a green card that's like a valid. 10 years. So I was just wondering if she comes here, what do you think? Like they can like send her back from the airport, or how is that work?
There's 3 things that could happen, and here's how I would think about it: red light, yellow light, green light. Red light is they don't let her in, and maybe they take her green card. I think the chances of that are pretty small, but they could do it, right? So let's say that's a 10% chance, right?
Yep. Yes.
And then I think the next thing that could happen, the yellow light, is they let her in, but they put her in removal proceedings.
Okay.
I think the chances of that are maybe 50%.
Okay.
And then I think it's a 40% chance that she just comes right through, no problem. But then she needs to stay. She can't keep doing that, right? So I would have her be ready to talk about, pandemic. I couldn't come back. I'm here to stay. I'm sorry. I won't do that again. And then she has to really stay.
Okay. So the other question is actually we just filed again for her.
Yeah, that's the other approach. You can do that too. You could.
So we did already. Actually, my brother already did like 4 or 5 months ago, and I think it should be like in a process right now.
Did he file a new I-130?
Yes.
Yeah.
So in that case, everything will be like start over again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so she will get like back whatever the process was done before, so she will get the new.
Yeah, but it'll take longer, and they'll be confused as to why they're doing it. Like, why do we want to give a green card to somebody who basically threw the green card we gave her in the trash?
And what is the time process now? They're taking 130.
Year and a half. Total year and a half, 2 years.
Got it. Okay, perfect. Yeah.
And just Mohammed, real quick, the other thing is what she could do is she could try to come back on her green card, and then if they give her trouble, she could say, "Look, I'm trying to fix this. I filed a new I-130."
Okay.
And then that might nudge up her chance of being let into the country.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it can be. There is a chance, 40% chance, as you said, like they can let her go. Okay. We can try that. So one ticket, so she can.
Yeah. The one thing I would do is I would get a refundable ticket for her to go back right away, just because otherwise you're going to buy a ticket like the day of. If they don't let her in, she's got to fly back that day. So
true. Okay, perfect. Makes sense. Thank you, Jim. Thank you very much.
Bye, Mohammed. See you, buddy.
Bye-bye.
All right. Let's say hi to DML. What's up, DML? Are you with us?
Hi, Jim. Yeah, I'm here.
Buddy, what's up?
Yeah, I'm good. So I have a quick question. My sister filed for me to come in as a sibling. She's a citizen, and I'm out of the country in Ghana. So along the way, I got married and I had a child. So I want to know how the process to add my children to the application.
So when did your sister file for you?
Back in 2014.
Okay, so your children, you can add them later. You're not processing yet at the National Visa Center, right?
No.
Yeah, you can add your children later. They don't have to. Were they listed on the I-130?
No, I just had them like 3 years ago.
Yeah, so when you get to the National Visa Center, you can deal with that then. You could notify them now, USCIS. Have they approved the I-130?
Yeah.
Yeah, so just sit tight and wait till they start processing your visa, and then you can tell them then.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay, good luck, DML. See you, buddy. All right. Let's say hi to Kareem. Hi, Kareem.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
I'm great. How you doing?
Good. So I have a question. I had an interview 2 weeks ago for
what kind?
The 5 years residency for citizenship.
Oh, great. How'd it go?
Not well. The energy was bad, but I don't know if it went good or not. But
which field office?
Hawaii.
Oh, Hawaii. And you got your green card on what basis? How did you get your green card? Asylum?
Married.
Marriage.
Yeah.
And you got divorced in the 5 years?
No, I'm still married, but my wife, she's in a different country. She's working as an international English teacher.
But you applied under the 5-year rule, even though you're married to a U.S. citizen.
I came to the U.S. with a green card. I filed outside, and I came. I got my green card at the airport.
Right, but when you apply for the citizenship, you mark a box. I'm applying under the 3-year rule or the 5-year rule. You check the 5-year rule.
Yeah, 5 year. Yeah.
Okay, so what happened at the interview, or what came up? You said something came up.
So I got married in Egypt. So my marriage certificate says that I had never been married before. And I was married in the U.S. here like 22 years ago. And that came up in the interview. So is that a problem?
Well, my bigger question is what did you put on the N400? Did you list that marriage on your N400?
Yeah.
And when you got your green card, when you applied for the green card the green card that you have now, the 5-year green card, did you list that marriage on there?
Yeah, and she passed away, so it's kind of like I added a death certificate and everything.
You submitted all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't care so much for this discussion you and I are having. I don't care so much about Egyptian authorities, but as far as whenever we've dealt with USCIS or the State Department, we've always been honest about this prior marriage 22 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're telling me that during your interview for naturalization, the officer looked at your marriage certificate and said, "Hey, it says here that you were never married before, but we know because you told us that you were actually married in the United States."
Yeah, that's true.
And just to be clear, Kareem, the woman that you were married to, she died before you got married to your current spouse, right?
Yeah, I got married 10 years ago. My current spouse, yeah.
When did the first person you were married to pass away?
Like 22 years ago.
Oh, okay. So how did the officer phrase it? Like, what did they say was bothering them? That they thought you tricked the Egyptian authorities, or what?
They say, why did you say that you never been married before? And I actually don't remember the conversation when I got married in Egypt. And I told her maybe we were talking about Egypt. They were asking about Egypt, but actually I don't remember.
Or maybe they were asking if you're currently married.
Well, it says, did you get married before?
Have you ever been married before?
Yeah.
That's what it says? That's the exact question?
Yeah.
I mean, that's not a reason to deny your citizenship. They can fuck off.
Yeah.
I mean, that's between you and Egypt. If Egypt wants to get mad at you, that's one thing. But your marriage this is for the marriage to the person that got you your green card, though, right?
Yes.
So maybe they could say, well, if you tricked the Egyptian authorities, which you didn't, but if you lied to them, if you told the truth, you wouldn't have gotten the marriage certificate and you wouldn't have been able to apply for a green card. But there's no proof of that.
So can they go after my green card?
That would be, I mean, I think technically they could try, but the question is, okay, so let's just say for the sake of argument, I'm not saying this, but let's just say for the sake of argument that you made a misrepresentation to the Egyptian marriage authorities in order to get your marriage license to marry the current spouse. Let's say that's true. The question I would ask is that a material misrepresentation? Is it material? Would they not have given you the marriage license if they'd known you were married before? As long as she was dead, then you were still free to marry. So I don't know what effect it would have that you didn't tell them the truth, assuming that you didn't, right?
Yeah.
I think you're okay.
Yeah. But it's just that the energy was really bad. The officer, she was really, aggressive on me and stuff like that. So I don't know.
I mean, they're not nice to men named Kareem from Egypt. There's no doubt about that. and in Hawaii, they're probably not used to seeing too many cases like that. So they probably think they've found Osama bin Laden's cousin or some bullshit, and so they're going to go hard on Kareem to give him a hard time.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you get approved, let me know. If you don't get approved, let me know, because I'd like to see the denial notice.
Okay. So I'll just send you an email with the result.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, but hopefully it'll just be an oath ceremony notice.
Yeah. So one other thing, I got denied. I applied 3 years. When my wife, she was here, I applied for 3 years.
Why'd
and
you
I
get
got denied?
Why?
So, well, I was working in a cruise ship, so I have to leave.
You weren't together very often. You weren't together for the full 3 years.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So that, I mean, so she's probably looking through the file. Oh, he already got denied once. Oh, he's from Egypt. Oh, he was married before and he didn't tell him. Yeah.
Oh.
So I can see what, like you said, why the energy was bad.
Okay. All right. So I will let you know, Jim. Yeah, I will keep updating you. Yeah.
When was the interview, Kareem?
It was 2 weeks ago.
Okay. Yeah. Let me know.
Yeah. Okay.
See you, buddy.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye, Kareem. One other thing about Kareem's case that she might not have liked, I don't know if the spouse, he said she was working overseas. If she was overseas, then that's a whole other thing that just adds a little layer of them to be mean about. I think we have time for one more, and I think we're going to talk to Muhammad Ali. What's up, Muhammad? Can you hear me? Nope. All right. Well, then it's going to be Mr. T. So we're going from Muhammad Ali to Mr. T. We got two boxers on the show. What's up,
Mr. Jim? Yeah, how you doing? First of all, I want to say thank you so much, and it's like it's gold getting to you. But I'll just go straight to I'll just cut the chase. I've been married to my wife. I'm a 2 years green card holder.
Yeah.
I've been married to my wife for like 2 years plus.
Okay.
And I got my temporary green card in February. I married her strictly for love. Nothing
February, like 6 months ago?
Yeah, 6 months ago.
Did you get it for adjustment of status, or did you get it?
Adjustment of status.
And what was where are you from?
I'm from Nigeria.
And when did you, what was your status before you got married?
I was out of status for like a year.
And you came on a B1, B2?
That's correct.
Were you married back in Nigeria?
Yes, I was married, got divorced here.
You got divorced from the United States?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got my approval. I got approved on the spot.
Okay. Which field office?
That was in Houston.
Houston. Okay.
Yeah.
So you got your 2 year green card back in February. It was for love, but now what? Things aren't good?
So, my wife has been accusing me of cheating. I've never cheated.
Okay.
I don't talk to any woman. Everybody knows about marriage, her family, my family. I'm always very critical. So, but she keeps accusing me. She keeps threatening me. Keeps telling me that, oh, you married me for love, for green purpose. I said, that's a lie. There's nothing to prove that. I've never done that. I've never done anything to prove to you that I don't love you. I do things for her as well as she does things for me. And she stays out. She's, the one problem I have, she stays out late at night, going to, I don't know where she goes to.
Right.
Like trying not to, look like I'm trying to control her. And so today, I got back home last night from work, and she wasn't home. Then she came back this morning, and I was not really happy about it because I had to go to the gym. I went to the gym, then go to work. And, twice, she's threatening me that she wants to divorce me. And now she sent me a text message saying she wants to divorce me. Immediately, I just left the gym, ran down to her. I was like, what happened? What did I do? She said she's not tired. She's not feeling it. She's not exciting and all that. I'm like, I can't keep living like I'm a 20-something-year-old. We got responsibilities. So she's my fear is that she's going to divorce me because she said she's going to move out the house once the lease is up. But I'm really concerned. I have everything, documents, text messages, Facebook, everything to prove the marriage is real. Everything. And, she asked me to give her all her documents. I give her her documents. I have a whole bunch of documents to show that this marriage is real. And we just went to the movies like on Thursday. Yeah. It was good. So my fear is, can I file for removal condition. If she divorces me, I know it's going to happen, like say in November.
Yes.
Or December. If she divorces me right now, what are my chances of getting my 10 years?
Well, they're going to ding you for being Nigerian. They're going to ding you for a short marriage. They're going to. Oh, are you still there?
I'm here.
They're gonna ding you for divorce proceedings shortly after you got the original green card. So, yes, the answer is yes, you can, but there's going to be a lot of work that needs to be done. And of course, my main question always in these cases, T, is your wife going to help us keep you here, try to hurt you staying here, or stay out of it? That's
I believe she's going to help because, I didn't say, she was saying that, she can still help me to make sure I get my green card. And I was like, no problem. But I just wanted to prove to you, I did not get married to you for this purpose.
Right.
Right. So don't try to make me stay with you, even though you don't want it. If you still want to get your divorce, get your divorce, because she was coming up with the thought that, okay, let's stay, but she's not going to be living with me, but she's going to help me.
I'd rather you don't want to, you never want to tie your wagon to the star of somebody who's not on board with the marriage. That's how you get accused of immigration fraud.
Exactly. I don't want that.
Just play it straight. Yeah, but yeah, we call these 751 solos. We've gotten a lot of them approved. You can do it. It's just a lot of extra work.
No problem. Like I said, I have, name it. I've been documenting right from the start till today. Text messages, Facebook, our utility bills, rent, insurances, both life and I got everything.
Great.
Like you said, I know you always say yes, sir.
Yeah, and so the one interesting thing on those cases is if the divorce is finalized, you don't have to wait the full 2 years to file for the 751. You can file once the divorce is final. Okay. Sometimes people like to wait, but you don't have to.
No, I don't want to wait.
Okay. All right, just let me know. Yeah, if you want to help, let us know.
I'm going to go through. So what I'm doing is I'm saving screenshots this video. Once I'm ready and the divorce is finalized, I would need to go through you guys.
Perfect. Yeah,
I don't want any hiccups. I don't want any, mistakes and all that. I'm a perfectionist.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing about me.
Got it.
Perfectionist. So
all right, thanks, T.
All right, thank you so much.
Have a great day.
I'll reach out to you guys when I'm ready.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, thank you. Bye then.
All right, everybody. That'll do it for today's show. We'll be back for episode number 241 on Monday. That'll be at 1. Let me just make sure. Monday, the 29th at 4 p.m. We're going to do it at 4 p.m. because I'm shooting a video at 1 p.m. So we'll be on at 4 o'clock on Monday, 4 p.m. Central. We'll be back to answer all of your questions during that hour. I hope you all have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time.